Ready Player One is the latest movie from legendary filmmaker Steven Spielberg, who is one of my biggest influences, and is based on Ernest Cline's very popular novel of the same name. Set in the year 2045, a time where the world is on the brink of chaos and collapse, people have found escape in the Oasis, an expansive virtual reality universe created by the eccentric but brilliant James Halliday, played by Mark Rylance in his third collaboration with Spielberg following Bridge of Spies and the BFG, the former of which won him an Oscar. When Halliday dies, he leaves his immense fortune to the first person to find a digital Easter egg which he has hidden somewhere in the Oasis. That sparks a contest where pretty much most of the world's population enters the Oasis. Among them is the film's unlikely young hero named Wade Watts, played by Ty Sheridan, who is the young Cyclops in X-Men Apocalypse. And the stage is set for an amazing adventure in an artificial world that is made for every video game and pop culture fan on the planet. I have been looking forward to this movie for quite a while now, as I always do with a Spielberg movie. I have the book, but I have not yet read it for fear that if I do read it, then I might be disappointed in the movie, which I wouldn't want to have happen. Now, having seen the movie, what did I think of it? I really, really like it. It is a very different film than what we are used to seeing from Spielberg, but one that was absolutely worth the wait. Amazing visuals and spectacle, great action and humor, excellent pop songs and pop culture references, and awesome fun. It also makes some interesting commentary on our crazy but understandable addiction to video games and virtual reality, and the motion capture CGI animation of the avatars in the Oasis is the best since, well, Avatar. And without going into story spoilers, I loved how an entire section of the film went into the movie The Shining, recreating it right down to the film grain in the image. That was great. Director Stanley Kubrick is another one of my favorite directors and influences, therefore The Shining is one of my favorite movies, and it is one of Spielberg's favorite movies also, even though it wasn't the first time he saw it. It has since grown on him. He was also good friends with Kubrick for almost 20 years until Kubrick passed away. Spielberg's movie AI Artificial Intelligence was a Kubrick production that Spielberg ended up making in honor of Kubrick's memory. I'd like to think that he would have been very flattered by the Shining section in this movie. I also liked all of the little pop culture Easter eggs that are littered throughout the movie. It's like Where's Waldo, even though it can be 2 or 3 times harder than that to spot all the references. I did manage to spot Batman, RoboCop, Freddy Krueger, Jason, a poster for The Fly, and even a poster for Raiders of the Lost Ark, but I couldn't spot things like the Gremlin that even Spielberg wasn't even aware of. There's so much going on in those scenes set in the Oasis. I have never been a big video game player, aside from playing a small handful of games on the Nintendo 64, plus 1 game on PlayStation 2 and 1 on Xbox. That's it. Therefore, when it comes to video game characters and references in this film, I wouldn't know what they were. Overall, this was a fun Spielberg film. There's not much focus on character development, but it doesn't matter. And the cast are great. I said it in my review for the Post, and I'll say it again here. Some critics and moviegoers will be going, well, this movie is good, but Spielberg is long past his glory days of Jaws and E.T., but it is never going to matter. The movies still need him, especially today. Movies will always need him. Thank you so much for watching, and there will be more because Lehtonen's Home Theater is always showing.